Hey everyone, so I recorded a couple of riffs recently that have been really tough. That's Stay by Disperse. I did the kind of breakdown bridge section of that, and also a chunk of Khadinja's Episteme. And I've got to come clean. I used tabs for those. Um, yeah, basically, I think 95% of what I've ever recorded for this channel, I've been working the tunes out by ear. And it's one of the reasons I actually kind of chose that riff format. It's partly because you know those are the bits I find most fun to learn, like why learn the filler around them, um, and also it was a way of motivating me to keep using my ears. So um, for years and years as a guitar player, I basically just used tabs for everything, and as a result, my ears got really underdeveloped, and I still think they're well behind where I'd like them to be, but they're not as bad as they used to be. And a lot of that has been just, so I think I'm at 60 something riff videos and a few other things like Blade Runner soundtrack bits and so on. And that was almost all done by ear. And it's been really interesting after now years and years of never using tabs to go back and learn something off tabs. So I made some notes about what I thought was most interesting. So first of all, it's a bit obvious, but it's a serious time saver. So, like I remember some of the mirrorless riffs I worked out, it took me like, 10 hours to figure out what all the notes were before I even got the rhythmic patterns practiced, before I even needed to develop some of the technique if the technique was strange, like it used really fast position shifting or whatever. So, it's really lovely to be able to just move almost immediately to that polishing stage, right? You know what the notes are. It's easy. You just work from there. And especially now that I'm working longer hours, I really appreciate the time saved. Um, it's also really interesting for me actually now, after years of not using tabs, to learn how other guitar players finger things. So whenever I'm listening, I often like I don't even watch live videos of the guitar players playing the things, right? So I'm placing the notes exactly where I find it most convenient to play them. And I met the mirrorist a few years back, and actually the way I play his riffs is totally different from the way he plays them. Um, and it's interesting when you have tabs, you know exactly how the other player played them, like where on the fingerboard, and that sometimes lets you figure out how they were thinking about it. If they use particular chord forms, if there's a sometimes it's hard to describe it. You just it's a way of getting inside the player's head in a way that you can't necessarily by ear unless you've got incredible ears and you're really sure of the fingerings, right? So guys like Levi Clay, they can tell, like what string a person's on. He's on a different level from me, and yeah, seeing how other players finger things for efficiency, for tone, it's useful. It's interesting. Um, One thing I really like is it's a really nice way of paying for guitarists for guitar playing you really like, right? I'm sure that every time Khadinja sell an online tab book or Disperse an online tab book, the guitar players go, yeah, we put out something that kicks so much butt that people are willing to pay money just to learn the riffs. And I think it's awesome that you can do that, and I like that, right? I can buy a t-shirt, I can pay for some tabs, and I've shown them how much I've enjoyed their music. Um, Finally, and on a more personal note, something I learned by using these tabs to learn these riffs is that for me, my ears are still definitely by far the limiting factor in my musicianship. I mean, I don't think that's a surprise. I think that's the case for almost everybody, but um, maybe not. And the fact that I can play things that would take me months to work out by ear, and I can learn to play them in a couple of weeks. And this is not, like I'm an amateur guitar player, so I'm just learning them in the evenings. It goes to show how much more developed my technique is than my ears, right? Ideally, I'd like for it to take about as long for me to like learn to play. I'd like to take it for it to take as short a time for me to learn things by ear as it does for me to like get them up to speed. Um, but it's been interesting finding that out because for years I haven't known, right? Because I haven't used tabs for anything. So I haven't had an easy mode way of just techniquing. And the thing is, when you work things out by ear, often when you're as bad at it as me, you have to play it over and over again so many times to figure it out that you end up practicing it anyway, right? So it's hard to know, did I just get the practice in anyway? And what I found out is that basically my chops are fine. I just need better ears, which not necessarily a surprise, but there you go. You know, I've confirmed it. Yeah, so I would say if you usually learn using tabs, for the love of God, stop, right? Find easy riffs that you like and work them out by ear. It's so important. And you'll enjoy listening to music more because you'll hear it better, right? That's an underrated aspect of improving your ears. Um, if you're just into technique, improve your ears because you're making loads of mistakes you can't hear. Like, improve your ears. Um, Aside from that, maybe if you do learn everything by ear, you know, maybe dig out a few tabs. See what it's like. It's been interesting for me. It's not a lot of time because it's so quick and easy to learn that way. And if you hear things wrong about the tabs, improve them, submit them somewhere online, and people will be very grateful. Thank you very much.